Good morning, kids. Well, good to see you once more, and I'm sure you're happy to see me as well. Today we will do nouns number. That's what I've decided to do today. I will also teach you about countable and uncountable nouns, and we'll also learn about different cases of nouns. Okay, so let's get to it. Nouns, we will start with nouns number. Now nouns number is very simple. It's not difficult at all. They are as in you have singular nouns, you have plural nouns. When you talk about singular nouns, what is it that you mean? Well, what is it that we mean? We mean that when the count of the noun is one. For example, let's say boy. We are talking about one boy out here. So the count of this noun is singular. Now, what do you mean by a plural noun? A plural noun is when the count of the noun is two and more. So if boy is singular, then boys becomes plural. So the addition, or when I added the letter S to the noun boy, so now this particular word has become a plural. So it's very simple. So nouns too are singular, nouns can be plural as well, and there are different ways of making a singular noun plural. So let's look at a few ways. Okay, the first way is simply by adding S. Okay, so let's see, I'll write examples for you on the board. So you have car, cars, let's say girl, let's say girls, let's say ship, ships, and there are a lot of other words. Let's say photo, photos. So likewise there are a lot of nouns, and you can make those nouns into plural by adding the letter S. There are other ways of making nouns plural as well. For example, let's say man will become man, woman becomes woman, let's say foot becomes feet. So what have we done here, kids? If you look closely, we've changed A to E, we've changed again A to E, and we've changed O, these vowels O and O, to E and E. Remember that there are 26 letters in the English alphabet, out of which 21 are consonants and have consonant sounds, and you have 5 letters that have vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U. I'm sure you know that. Okay, so what have we done? We've changed the vowels, okay, and we've changed the vowels of these nouns, these words, and we've made it plural. Okay, so how am I supposed to write sentences? I'll just write 2 sentences for you on the board. Let's say, let's say, let's say, okay, a woman loves her children. So a woman loves the children. Here, before this singular noun, I have used the article a here, okay, which is an indefinite article. So what is it that I'm trying to say? Well, I'm trying to say that women in general, they love their children. That is the sense of it. Okay, so let's say I will write another sentence using the plural form of the word woman. So let's say 3 women were roaming in the market. Okay, so I've given you these 2 examples. This is sentence 1, sentence 2. So I hope I've made this clear to you. So there's another way of writing, let's say, Another way of changing a singular noun to a plural noun, let's say if you have the word thief, let's say if you have the word leaf, let's say if you have the word knife. So if I want to change this, these words, remember, if you look at it, these words end with the, thief ends with the letter F, leaf ends with the letter F, and knife ends with the letter FE. So if you have words that end with F, or let's say FE, okay, then how will we change it? Let's see. So thief will become THIEVES, and leaf will become LEAVES, and knife will become KNIVES. Okay, so what have we done here, kids? Well, we've removed the F, and in place of the F we've added VES. We've removed the F out here. Again, we've changed it to VES. We've removed F and E, and again we've changed it to VES. So the plural of thief is thieves, plural of leaf is leaves, the plural of knife is knives. So let's try and write sentences. Let's say a knife is on the table, or let's say there are 3 knives on the shelf. Okay, so shelf too, if I want to make shelf plural, what I can do is the same rule is applied. Since this particular word ends with the letter F, SHELF will become SHELVES. So this is one way of changing singular nouns to plural nouns. So do remember that. There are other ways as well. For example, okay, for example, let's say mango. You have potato. Let's say hero. Okay, let's look at these 3 nouns now. Okay, mango, potato, and hero. So all these nouns end with the letter O. O. So how am I supposed to change it? Well, if I want to write the plural form of mango, it becomes mangoes. Potato becomes potatoes. And let's say hero becomes heroes. Okay? So what have I done? I've added ES, I've added ES, and I've added ES here. Okay? So let's say I don't feel the need to write sentences because there's a lot more that I want to do with you, but I'm sure by now you have gotten an idea of sorts. You know what is it that I'm talking about. Okay, so here what we've done is all these nouns that have ended with the letter O, I've added ES, ES, and ES to it. So this way, or let's say for example, let's say if there are words that end with the letter Y, let's say city, or let's say army, or let's say duty. Okay, so since these words end with the letter Y, so if I want to make these nouns plural, what will I do? I will remove, I'll show it to you, CITIES. So I've removed the Y and I've added IES. Army will become ARMIES. So I've removed the letter Y and I've added IES. I've used the letters I, E, and S. Duty will become DUTIES. So I've removed the letter Y and I've added the letters I, E, and S. And there are some words or some nouns that have the same form, same singular form and the same plural form. Like for example, let's say sheep is sheep only. There's no word called sheeps in the English language. Just please do remember that. Okay, sheep will be sheep, and then you have deer will become is deer only. So this way there are a few words where the forms, you don't need to add any other letter in order for you to make it plural. It remains the same. And then you have like father-in-law becomes fathers-in-law, sister-in-law will become sisters-in-law. So this way, all that I want you to do, kids, is just request your dad to just give you his cell phone for a while and just look up nouns number. You'll have a list of nouns, singular nouns, and with their plural forms as well. Just go through it, okay, and try and memorize it, okay. Go through it and memorize it. And this is if you want to know a lot more than what has been taught to you by me right now, because I don't have a lot of time, please feel free to learn as much as you can. That's up to you. Fine. So I've given you an idea about nouns number. So we have singular nouns, we have plural nouns, and there are different ways of making singular nouns plural. Fine. Now we will do another concept, or another I'll teach you something else about nouns. So nouns can also be spoken about, remember kids, as countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Now the name itself, for example, so nouns you have, let's say, C-O-U-N-T-A-B, countable nouns, and you have uncountable nouns. Now what do you mean by countable nouns? What do you mean by uncountable nouns? Okay, so let's look at countable nouns first. Countable nouns are nouns that you can count. Okay, so let's say pen. Can I count a pen? Yeah. 1 pen, 2 pens, 3 pens, 4 pens. Cars can be counted. That's one car there, that's another car, that's another car. So 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars. Books can be counted. You have 1 book, there are 3 books on the table, there are 10 books on the table, and let's say these books are very expensive. Okay, so for countable nouns, remember a few points, okay, and the points that I want you to remember are as follows. Well, the first thing I want you to remember, these are nouns that can be counted, okay, and they have, let's say they have both singular and plural forms. What do I mean? I'll give you an example. Let's say boy, boys. This is the singular form of this countable noun, and this is the plural form of this countable noun. Third one is, you can use a singular or a plural verb with these nouns. Okay, for example, let's say this book is expensive. Okay, so here I've used a singular verb because this noun is singular. Or I can also say, let's say these books are expensive. So here I've used the plural form of the verb. Here I've used the singular form of the verb. Okay, depending on the number of the subject. So here the subject is singular, I've used the singular form of the verb. Here the subject is plural, I've used the plural form of the verb. So you can use a number, you can use a singular or a plural verb with these nouns. With what kind of nouns? With countable nouns. And there's one more point that I want you to remember and find, and I hope you can pause the video and you can just carefully look at these points. And the next point that I want you to remember is, you can use an or a number before the countable nouns. Please do remember this point. You can use a, an or a number before the countable nouns. Now let's move on to uncountable nouns. What do you mean by uncountable nouns? Uncountable nouns are nouns that you cannot count. For example, let's say happiness. Okay, let me just write down a few points for you. Okay, so, they generally do not have a plural form. Okay, so what do I mean? Like sugar is an uncountable noun. You can't say 2 sugars. This is not possible. This is wrong. Okay, you cannot say this. Okay, or let's say 3 teas. Likewise, similarly, I cannot say 3 teas. This is wrong. Okay, fine. But okay, fine. Let's keep it at that as of now, and let's remove this. So I hope that this point is clear. Okay, and then the next point is let's say we use a singular verb with uncountable nouns. We use a singular verb with uncountable nouns. Like for example, I can say sugar is sweet. So this is sugar is an uncountable noun. With this uncountable noun, I've used the singular form of the verb. Here I can't say sugar are sweet. This is incorrect. This sentence is wrong. Okay, so I have to say sugar is sweet. So do remember this point. And the next point is, you cannot use, let's say a, an or a number before uncountable nouns. Okay, so do remember these points, kids. Okay, now you can pause the video. Let me move on to something else now. Now, what are uncountable nouns? Let's talk about that. I hope these points are clear to you. So let's move on. So what are uncountable nouns? Obviously, I've already told you that these are nouns that we cannot count in the sense I cannot say, let's say, what? 1 anger, 2 angers, 3 angers, 1 love, 2 loves, 3 loves. I cannot, let's say, 1 dirt, 2 dirts, 3 dirts, 4 dirts, 1 mud, 2 muds, 3 muds, 4 muds. So I cannot use these words in this way. But let's say, what do you mean by uncountable nouns? Okay, so let's say uncountable nouns, kids, are abstract nouns. Remember, I've already spoken about abstract nouns. Okay, nouns that cannot, as in nouns where you cannot use your senses, your 5 senses. I suppose where you cannot, these nouns cannot be touched. Okay, these nouns cannot be seen with your eyes. These nouns cannot be heard. You cannot use your senses, and these nouns cannot be tasted. These nouns also cannot be smelt. Remember that, okay? So abstract nouns. Okay, like let's say love, let's say beauty, let's say anger, let's say happiness. Okay, there are many more abstract nouns. Okay, but let me just keep it at this. So happiness, can I touch happiness? No, I cannot touch happiness. Can I smell happiness? I cannot smell happiness. Can I taste happiness? No, I cannot taste happiness. Can I hear happiness? No, I cannot hear happiness. Can I see happiness? I cannot see happiness as well. But kids, you can think about happiness, yeah, and you can feel happiness as well. Okay, anyway, fine. So uncountable nouns, abstract nouns like love, beauty, anger, happiness, etc. Okay, you also have names of liquids that are uncountable nouns, like for example, let's say water is an uncountable noun. You have, let's say, soup is an uncountable noun. Let's say tea is an uncountable noun. Okay, like this. Or let's say coffee is an uncountable noun. It's like that. Okay, or let's say now you also have material nouns, or things that the substances are made of. Okay, those nouns are called material nouns. Like let's say silver is an uncountable noun, gold is an uncountable noun, iron is an uncountable noun, wool is an uncountable noun, wood is an uncountable noun. It's like that. Okay, so abstract nouns are uncountable, liquids are uncountable, you have material nouns that are uncountable. Okay, let's see what else do we have. Okay, abstract nouns, you have liquids, you have material nouns. Okay, and then you have, let's say, other words that too are uncountable. Okay. Okay, fine. So we can also say that things that are made of small particles. Okay, small particles. Okay, let's say things made of small particles. Okay, small pieces. Okay, are also uncountable nouns. Like what do I mean? Like dirt is an uncountable noun, mud is an uncountable noun, dust is an uncountable noun. It's like that. Okay, and then you also have other words too. Other words like let's say luggage is an uncountable noun. You have equipment, which is an uncountable noun. You cannot say 2 equipments or 3 equipments. That's wrong. Okay. Let's say you have luggage, equipment. You have furniture, which is an uncountable noun. You have scenery, which is an uncountable noun. So let's say the scenery of Kashmir is very good. Okay. I went to Kashmir last year and I found the scenery of Kashmir excellent. You cannot say the sceneries of Kashmir. That is grammatically incorrect. Remember that. Okay. So this is the way it works. So just remember this. So these are uncountable nouns. Which are the uncountable nouns? Abstract nouns are uncountable. Liquids are uncountable. Material nouns. The material nouns are written for you on the board. Things made of small particles like dirt, mud, dust, or let's say sand. These are all uncountable nouns, and other words as well like luggage, equipment, furniture, scenery. All these are uncountable nouns. So please do remember that. And so now what we will do is I will teach you how to use measuring words when you want to talk about uncountable nouns. Okay. So like for example, okay, I can say, let's say 2 liters of water. Okay. So if I want to talk about water, and if I want to talk about, let's say, the amount of water, I can use liters, 2 liters of water. So for countable nouns, kids, again, before I forget, you ask yourself the question, how many? Okay, for countable nouns, you ask the question how many, and for uncountable nouns, you ask the question how much. So do remember this. So I can say 2 liters of water, I can say a piece of advice. Advice too is an uncountable noun. Let's say, or a piece of furniture. Okay, furniture too is an uncountable noun, remember that. Or I can say, let's say 3 jars of honey. Honey too is an uncountable noun. But if I want to talk about the amount, I can say 3 jars of honey, or a piece of advice, or 2 liters of water, or let's say a slice of bread, or let's say a slice of cheese. Okay, so a slice of, so a slice. So here I've used liters, I've used the word piece, here I've used the word jars, here I've used the word slice. So these are all measuring words. So one can use measuring words like this, like a lot of water. Let's say I have little work to do today. Work too sometimes works as an uncountable noun. So I can use these measuring words while talking about uncountable nouns as well. Okay, so English gives you that that space, that freedom to use uncountable nouns if you want to talk about an amount, but remember that you have to use these measuring words. Okay, there are a lot more, but I want to keep it at this. Okay, fine. So I guess we have more or less covered countable and uncountable nouns. And as you move up the grades, when you go to class 5, then from class 5 to class 6, whatever you learn now will help you later on to understand more concepts, and plus you will also learn a bit more about countable and uncountable nouns as you move up the grades, as you progress, as you climb the ladder. Okay, fine. So now what we will do is we will do Nouns Case. Okay, now this is something which is probably not there in your textbooks, but let's do it. It's interesting to learn new things, and as students, remember, you have to be hungry for knowledge. You have to have a curious mind. You have to possess a mind, okay, that wants to learn new things, that wants to get to know more and more, because this world is beautiful, and everything that you are learning will be of use to you in your life. Everything has a practical use for you. Okay, so now I will do Nouns Case, and this is the last thing that we will learn for today. Nouns Case. Now what exactly do you mean by case? Well, every noun, kids, has to stand in relationship to some other word in the sentence. So the relationship that it has with another word in the sentence is called the case of the noun. Even pronouns have cases, but as of now, we will just learn the different cases of nouns. So I will write the definition for you on the board. Okay, so let's say the relationship that a noun has with, let's say, another word in the sentence. So this relationship is called CASC, case, sorry. C-A-S-E, case of the noun. Okay, so now there are 5 cases that we will learn today. First one you have, let's say, N-O-M-I-N-A-T-I-V, nominative case. We will learn about objective, O-B-J-E-C-T-I-V-E, objective case, is also called accusative case, A-C-C-U-S-A-T-I-V, accusative case. Okay, and then we have, let's say, dative case, okay, and then we have, let's say, vocative case, okay, and then we also have genitive or P-O-S-S-E-S-S-I-V, possessive case. Okay, we also have one more case which is called a case in apposition, but I will teach that to you, let's say, when you return, or probably in the next year. Okay, so just remember these cases. One is nominative case, the other is objective case. Objective case is also called accusative case. Then we have dative case, we have vocative case, we have genitive case is also called a possessive case. So now these words are like, they look scary, okay, and big words as well, but don't worry, it is simple to understand. Okay, now I will write example sentences for you on the board. That will make it easier for you to understand. Okay, ready kids? Okay, fine. Okay, I'm sure it's okay. Even here in school, we miss our students a lot. Every teacher misses his students. Okay, ours is a residential school, and in the absence of students in the campus, things become a bit dull and boring, no doubt. Okay, but I'm sure we'll be together soon. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Okay, so now let's do nominative case. N-O-M-I-N-A-T-I-V, nominative case. Simple. When a noun acts as the subject of the verb, okay, we call it what? We say that is in the nominative case. For example, let's say Shraddha laughed a lot. Or let's say the bag fell on the floor. Or let's say the teacher rewarded the student. So if you look at these 3 sentences, sentence 1, sentence 2, and sentence number 3, okay, Shraddha laughed a lot. Which is the verb here? The verb here is laughed. Okay, so now which is the subject of the verb? The subject of the verb is Shraddha. Who laughed? Shraddha laughed. So Shraddha is in the nominative case. Likewise, if you look at the second sentence, the bag fell on the floor. Okay, which is the verb? The verb is fell. So what fell? The bag fell on the floor. So the bag is the subject of the verb fell. So the bag is in the nominative case. The bag is the nominative case of the it's the nominative case. Okay, it's used in the subject position, and the relationship that this particular noun has with the verb is what? It is the subject of the verb. That is its case, that is its relationship. Okay, likewise, if you look at the third sentence, the teacher rewarded the student. Okay, So which is the verb? The verb is rewarded. Okay, so who rewarded? The teacher rewarded. So now the teacher is in the nominative case. So if you want to figure out the subject, okay, or which noun, if you want to figure out whether the noun is in the nominative case or in what position it is, you just have to ask the question who or what before the verb. So who laughed? Shraddha laughed. What fell? The bag fell. Who rewarded? The teacher rewarded. So if you ask these questions before the verb, it's very easy for you to locate or find out the subject of that sentence. And that subject of that sentence, if it's a noun, will be in the nominative case if it is used as the subject of the verb. Okay, so fine, let's move on to objective case now. Now we will do objective case. By objective case, what is it that I mean? Well, I will write a few example sentences on the board. That will make it easier for you to understand. Let's say, the cat chased its tail. Okay, let's say Namit punched, let's say Shivansh. Okay, let's say, okay, let's keep it at these two sentences as of now because we don't have a lot of time. So the cat chased. So the cat chased. So which is the verb here? The verb here is chased. Okay, so the cat chased what? The cat chased its tail. So tail becomes the object of the verb. The cat chased what? The cat chased its tail. Okay. Likewise, you have the second sentence, Namit punched Shivansh. So Namit punched is the verb here. So Namit punched whom? Namit punched Shivansh. So Shivansh becomes the object of the verb. Okay. So now, again, it's very easy for you to find out the object of the verb. All that you have to do is you have to ask yourself the question, okay, what or whom? Okay, after the verb, remember, after the verb. Okay, if you want to figure out the subject, remember you have to ask yourselves what question? What or who before the verb, but here it's what or whom after the verb. So the cat chased its tail. The cat chased what? Its tail. Tail becomes the object of the verb chased. Namit punched Shivansh. Namit punched whom? Namit punched Shivansh. So Shivansh becomes the object of the verb punched. Okay. So the word tail out here and the word Shivansh out here, they are in the objective case. Okay. So what do I mean? I mean that it is the object, the relationship that it has with these verbs chased and punched. What is the relationship? The relationship is that the word tail is the object of the verb chased and the word or the proper noun Shivansh is the object of the verb punched. Remember that. Okay, this is what I mean by objective case. And you also have objective cases after prepositions as well. I just give you two examples. Let's say I go to school. Okay, so I is a pronoun, go is the verb, to is the preposition, and school is the object of the preposition to. Okay, so remember that. So this too also is in the objective case. Okay, and this is governed, this word is governed by the preposition to. In the sense, this preposition to shows the relationship of this noun school with the verb go. Okay, so let's say the hunter killed, okay, or let's say, okay, fine. The hunter killed the, okay, let's say the deer was killed by the hunter with a gun. So if you look at it, by is a preposition here and with is another preposition here. Okay, so you have the that follows the preposition by, and you have hunter, which is a noun. So this particular word or noun out here is in the objective case, and it's governed by the preposition by. By shows the relationship, okay, of this noun hunter with the verb killed. Okay, fine, you can look at it this way. Okay, and here what is the object of this preposition? Well, the object of this preposition is the word gun. Okay, so you have, as of now, since you are in class 4, just remember that the objects of prepositions can be nouns and pronouns. Okay, okay, so let's keep it at that. So this too is in the objective case, gun is in the objective case, and hunter too is in the objective case. And remember, objective case is also called accusative case. Okay, so when the noun, okay, you can also have a pronoun here. So when the noun or the pronoun is the subject, is the object of the verb, so the case is objective case or accusative case. And if the noun, or for that matter the pronoun, okay, is used, let's say after the preposition, okay, then the case again, we can refer to the case of the noun as being objective or as being in the objective or accusative case. So just remember this as of now, and there are a few more cases that we have to do. We have to do the dative case, we have to do the vocative case, and we also have to do the possessive case, kids. Okay, and with possessive case is very interesting, because there we have to use the apostrophe and the s, and then I will also teach you how to use the apostrophe with different nouns. So this is it for now. Okay, so I hope okay, so what have we done? We've done nouns number, we've done countable and uncountable nouns, we've started with nouns case, where I've already spoken about nominative case, I've just explained objective case to you, and in the next class I will teach you vocative case, I will teach you dative case, I will teach you genitive case, and we will also learn the use of apostrophes in English. That is it for now. Stay safe, be happy, and stay in touch with English. Read till you bleed. Bye-bye, kids.